All right, so you're thinking about a career working with animals, huh? Well, get ready, because today we're diving deep into the world of pet and pet food specialized sellers. And let me tell you, it's a lot more than just, scooping kibble.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got a ton of info to unpack, from RoleCatcher career guides, interview prep, the whole nine yards.
It's really amazing how much this particular career path is resonating with people right now. And when you think about it, it makes sense.
It really does.
I mean, it's that perfect blend of like, knowledge and compassion and we all love being around animals.
Of
Right.
course. Okay, but what does a pet and pet food specialized seller actually do on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Because the RoleCatcher guide makes it sound like a pretty dynamic job.
Well, it goes way beyond just like ringing up sales, You're basically becoming like a trusted advisor to these pet owners.
Oh, wow.
Like you're not just selling them a product, you're really educating them on all things pet care. I mean, this is nutrition, this is the latest trends and like even pet tech, you know what I mean?
It's like you're a walking encyclopedia of all things pets.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. The guide also mentions this whole aspect of building relationships with customers. What does that actually look like in this particular role?
Okay, so imagine this. A first-time pet parent, they're totally overwhelmed by all the choices, right?
Right.
You're the specialized seller. You're there to guide them, answer all those questions, and maybe even just offer a little bit of reassurance because those early days can be, a little chaotic.
I bet.
You become like that familiar face, someone they know they can trust, someone who is going to give them reliable advice.
Yeah.
Building that connection, that rapport, it's huge.
I can see how that would be so rewarding, becoming like the go-to resource for all these pet parents.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the work environment itself for a minute, because the RoleCatcher guide mentions specialized pet shops as being like the most common setting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So picture this, you're in this bustling pet store, all the sights and sounds, chirping birds, playful barks.
Oh, I love it.
Maybe even the occasional,
Yeah.
just to keep things interesting.
Exactly.
You might find these roles in those bigger retail chains too, like the ones with dedicated pet sections.
Of course.
Or, and this might be surprising to some folks, maybe even in veterinary clinics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
really good point.
Yeah.
Okay, but I bet it's a pretty lively atmosphere, to say the least. Although I'm guessing it's not all puppy cuddles and, kitten playtime.
Well,
The guide does mention some not so glamorous aspects of the job too.
right, right. You do have to be prepared to like be on your feet a lot for long hours.
Okay.
And then there's, the whole lifting those heavy bags of pet food.
Of course, yeah.
And let's not forget the ever-present pet hair.
Oh, of course. Of course.
It's just part of the territory, right?
That's part of the job for sure.
Yeah.
So you really do need to be comfortable with that level of physicality and, like you said, potential exposure to allergens.
You do. But, for the right person, for somebody who has that genuine passion for animals,
Yeah.
those are just minor hurdles.
Absolutely. Especially when you think about the positive impact you're having on the lives of these animals and, honestly, their owners.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And not to mention the pet industry is just, it's booming.
It's huge.
Right. So we're talking job security. We're talking some really, really exciting opportunities out there.
Speaking of exciting opportunities, the RoleCatcher guide dives into some of these trends that are really shaping the future of the pet industry.
Right.
And it's definitely not your grandmother's pet food aisle anymore.
No, not at all.
Things have changed.
Things have changed. Like there's this huge emphasis on pet health and nutrition these days, and that goes way beyond just, picking the right food.
Okay.
I mean, for example, right? And this is something people always get wrong. Grain-free dog food, it's really trendy, but it's not actually always the best option for every single dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And a huge part of this role, I think, is educating yourself so that you can then educate these pet parents, like really steering them in the right direction toward products that are actually good for their pet's individual needs.
Right. So it's really about staying ahead of the curve,
Absolutely.
being in the know,
Being in the know.
and being that trusted resource for the pet parent. I love that.
I like
Love
it.
that. Okay. What about this? They mentioned something about eco-conscious products too.
Oh, yeah. Huge, huge.
Look around.
Sustainability is like a really big deal in the pet industry now, which I think is great.
It's awesome.
It's really awesome.
Yeah. What about this whole wearable pet tech thing that I keep hearing about?
Oh, my gosh. It
Oh.
sounds so futuristic.
It's like one of the most exciting things happening in the industry.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
What?
We're talking like high-tech collars that can, track your dog's activity levels, sleep patterns,
Wow.
even GPS trackers, so you don't have to, worry when they're, out on walks.
Yeah. Right.
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 And you, as a specialized seller, you're the one explaining these technologies to pet owners, like what's going to work for them, what's going to work for their pets.
Right.
It's really cool.
So cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about being ahead of the curve
Oh, what?
there.
I know, right?
It seems like there's a real opportunity here, like you said, to kind of carve out a niche.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if you're somebody who loves learning about all these new products and trends and stuff. But, with all this innovation comes competition too.
Right.
The RoleCatcher guide does emphasize that this is a growing but also a competitive field.
It's true. Yeah, it is competitive. But I really do think your passion, your knowledge, those are your superpowers in this line of work.
Totally.
If you truly, genuinely love animals
Yeah.
and you're willing to put in the work, stay up to date on all the latest advancements in pet care,
Right.
you're gonna stand out.
So experience is obviously valuable, but so is that enthusiasm?
And that dedication to continuous learning.
For sure.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pros and cons for a minute, because the RoleCatcher guide, they outline a bunch of these, and let's be real, no job is perfect, right?
Oh, absolutely not. No. Every job has its, its ups and downs, for sure.
Of course. Yeah. What's on the plus side?
Well, so many good things. So many good things. But I think first and foremost, a lot of these roles come with flexible hours,
Okay.
which is huge.
That's great.
Especially depending on your lifestyle and what you're looking for. And then, of course, you get to spend your days surrounded by animals.
Which is amazing.
Which is the best.
The best.
It's like built-in stress relief.
Seriously, I can only imagine in the middle of a crazy day, puppy cuddles.
The best.
The best, right?
The best.
The guide also mentioned the potential for high earning.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so tell me about that.
Yeah. So this is going to vary depending on your experience level, your location, maybe what you decide to specialize in.
Right.
But I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say you become the go-to person for reptile care.
Okay.
Or you're, a raw food diet expert.
Yeah.
Those specialized skills, high demand,
Right.
Some really experienced sellers, they can earn well above average,
That's amazing.
especially in those niche markets.
So there's potential to really turn your passion into a career.
Absolutely.
That's financially rewarding too.
100%.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Now, what about the flip side? What are some of the maybe not so great aspects of the job?
Yeah. Yeah. So, any customer-facing role,
Right.
you're going to encounter some, shall we say, interesting people.
Right.
Not every pet parent is going to be, a walk in the park.
Right.
You're going to need patience, you're going to need empathy, and some really, really strong communication skills to, navigate those trickier situations.
That makes sense. Yeah, you've got to be able to
Yes.
handle those interactions
Oh, yeah.
with grace,
For sure.
with professionalism.
Yes.
Okay, what about were there any other challenges that they mentioned?
Let's see. We talked about the physical demands, being on your feet, lifting things. That can definitely take a toll.
Yeah. Over time, yeah. And then also, and this goes back to, what we were saying before, that need for continuous learning, it's constant.
Okay.
I mean, the pet industry is always changing.
Right.
New products, new research, you've really got to stay on top of it if you want to be a valuable resource.
So it sounds like you really need a blend of passion,
Yes.
knowledge,
Yes.
and honestly resilience
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
to thrive in a role like this.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, now before we get into all the ways that this specific job can actually open doors to other opportunities.
Let's talk about how RoleCatcher itself can help someone land their dream job in this industry.
Yes. Okay, so their platform, honestly, it's like having a career coach in your pocket.
I love that.
Right. And remember earlier when we were talking about interview prep?
Yeah.
Okay, so they have this database of over 120,000 practice interview questions.
Oh, my goodness.
And you can filter them by career, by industry, even by your experience level.
Wow.
It's incredible.
So you could literally be practicing your answers to questions that are specific to this role.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It's the best way to go into that interview feeling super confident, ready to really showcase your passion.
That's so smart. Okay, what about crafting the perfect CV and cover letter though? Because that can be tricky.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
especially in such a like competitive field.
Right, and that is where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Oh, okay.
So you literally upload your CV, your cover letter, and it analyzes them. And then it compares your materials to the specific language that's used in job descriptions that you're interested in.
Oh, wow.
And then it gives you suggestions like how to make it even better.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
It's like having a digital marketing
Yeah.
expert, just like fine-tuning your
It's
message to
total.
make sure that it's really going to resonate
Yes.
with those potential employers.
100%.
Okay, now I love that. I love how technology can be such a powerful tool
I know, right?
throughout this whole process. But, I do think it's easy to get like tunnel vision
Oh, for sure.
when we're thinking about career paths.
Totally.
And I think a lot of people probably hear, pet and pet food specialized seller, and they're like, okay, I work in a pet store. Like, is that it? Is that the only option?
It's a good question. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy to think about it in those terms.
Totally. But
There's yeah.
I love it.
One of the most exciting things about this job is that it can be a stepping stone to so many different opportunities.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. So what else is out there for someone who has this like really unique skill set?
So many things.
Yeah.
So many things. So let's say, right, you've been working in the field for a while, you're gaining experience. Maybe you decide to move into like a management position within the retail world.
What?
A lot of these like pet store chains, they really like to promote from within.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, so if that's something that you're interested in, climbing the ladder, maybe one day managing a whole team of pet-loving enthusiasts.
Right, great.
Totally a possibility.
That's awesome.
Right.
I love that. What about for those who are a little bit more entrepreneurial though?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a way to like branch out on your own?
Totally.
Okay.
This role gives you, like, the perfect foundation to start your own pet-related business.
Really?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, you could leverage all that knowledge, all that experience.
Yeah.
You could do dog walking, pet sitting. Maybe you open up, like, a specialized pet bakery.
Oh my gosh.
Right, catering to, pets with, like, dietary restrictions.
Now that you mention it, I have noticed a huge surge in demand for that.
Oh, it's huge.
Like those like healthy natural treats.
Totally. And you with your background in, like, pet nutrition,
Right.
customer service,
Right.
you're, like, the perfect person to do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The possibilities really are endless.
See, this is what I love about these deep dives.
I know.
It's like we uncover these little aha moments.
Yeah.
And you realize, okay, a career path, it's not like a straight line.
Totally.
It can twist, it can turn,
It can turn.
it can lead to all these places you never expected.
Exactly. 100%.
Love it. Okay, but before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
All right.
the RoleCatcher Guide, they had one final piece of advice that I thought was really important.
Okay.
And they emphasize this idea of networking.
Yes. So important. So important.
So important. And it's not just about, handing out your business card at a conference.
Right. Right.
It's about, making those genuine connections
It's about the people.
with people, yeah, who get you, who share your passion.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So what are some ways to actually connect with like-minded people in a meaningful way?
Oof. So many.
Okay.
So many ways. I would say, volunteering.
Okay.
Volunteering at animal shelters.
Oh yeah, of course.
Fantastic way to give back.
Of course.
Get some hands-on experience, meet
I have
people.
people who are already in the industry.
Exactly. Exactly. You could also attend like industry events, conferences,
Okay.
even join like online forums,
Oh, sure.
social media groups, anything that's dedicated to like, a specific topic that you're interested in.
Right. So it's not just about, like you said, finding a job.
Yeah.
It's about exchanging those ideas.
Learning from other people,
100%.
staying inspired.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I love that. Wow, this has been really eye-opening.
It's a cool field.
It's a really cool field, and it's amazing. Like, we went from, stocking shelves to like cutting-edge technology
Really?
to potentially starting your own business.
So cool.
It's really amazing how much ground we covered.
I think it just shows how dynamic and like always evolving this industry is,
It really is.
and that there really is like a place for everyone.
Yeah.
If this is something you're passionate about.
I love that. Yeah, there really is. And, it all comes back to, like you were saying, finding your niche, that specialization.
Yes, absolutely. It's one thing to kind of have that general knowledge, right?
Right.
But if you really want to excel in this career, whether you're like, working at a pet store or you want to branch out on your own, you need to become an expert in something that you are passionate about. So let's say, like, hypothetically, someone's listening to this and they're like, you know what? I love birds. Birds are my thing.
Yes.
What would, like, specializing in bird care, what would that actually look like?
Okay, so first things first, you're going to want to like really up your game when it comes to learning about avian care, right?
Okay.
Read all the books, go to all the workshops,
Right.
maybe even like, network with like avian veterinarians or breeders,
Oh, wow.
like learn from the
The
best.
best of the best.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's about really like immersing yourself
Totally.
in that world
Mhm.
and becoming like the go-to resource
It is.
for
Yeah.
anything bird related.
Exactly. Imagine being able to like, walk into a pet store and you can confidently guide someone through, picking the right bird cage, the right food, the
Yep.
right toys. You're educating them on, avian care.
Right.
Like that level of expertise, invaluable.
So valuable.
Right.
And that could even extend to, starting a business.
Oh,
Like, like an avian focused boarding facility or like a mobile grooming service,
yes.
but just for birds.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. It's about like finding that niche, that place where your passion, your knowledge, it all comes together.
Okay.
And the pet industry is great for that. There is a niche for almost every animal out there.
This has been incredible. I love these deep dives. We start with one thing and then we just kind of like peel back all these layers.
Oh, I know, right?
And today we've explored like, what it actually takes to be a pet and pet food specialized seller. We've talked about these like emerging trends in the industry, the trends, and then like we've even charted a course for, turning this job into this long-term fulfilling career.
Which is awesome.
It is awesome. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know what? I love animals. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always eager to learn new things. This could be it.
This could be it, yeah. A career that honestly rewards your compassion, your dedication, your love for animals.
100%. And on that note, we're going to leave you with this, all right?
Yeah.
As you're kind of like mulling over this career path, ask yourself, what really lights you up about the animal world?
Oh, good question.
Right? What unique knowledge or skills do you bring to the table? And those answers, I think, can really lead you to a fulfilling career surrounded by, well, fairy friends, feathered friends, maybe even some scales.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And don't forget, the journey is just as important as the destination.
Oh, I love that.
Right. So, embrace the learning, connect with people who share your passion,
Yeah.
and never be afraid to chase those dreams.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. So until next time, keep those tails wagging, keep those birds chirping, those fish swimming. We'll see you in the next episode.